In terms of the management, second tier management team, and this might be a question that we can expand a little bit further along when we're talking about transitioning or transferring value. How important is it, and when do you bring the second tier management group into the conversation about the transaction or the transition?
Yeah, I guess there's some owners. Owners will kind of dictate that for you. And the reason I say that is there's two potential scenarios that we usually are faced with. One is that the owner is keeping the transition or the sale of the business extremely confidential, and they will not allow you access to have any conversations with any of their second tier management team, and that's usually negotiated into the LOI or the due diligence side of things, and we respect that, and I guess have to go with that wish of the owner. The second scenario is that the owner is extremely proud of the second tier management team that they've developed. They have been open and very forthcoming with their management team, saying, "Listen, I've got to exit out of this business at some point in time. I'm going to look to transition to a new owner, and you are probably the biggest asset that I have, being the leadership team of this organization." And at that point in time, they will allow you access to that team.
So what proportion from your, I mean, you've done so many of these. What's the proportion between the two? How many are kind of cards close to the chest? How many have you seen it being open? Because to me, the second one seems much more sophisticated and evolved. But personally, I haven't seen a lot of those myself. So I'm curious in your experience.
Yeah, we're probably going back through the ones that I've worked on over the past. I'd probably say 70% of the owners have said no. You can't touch or talk to my management team because I don't want the organization spooked. And another 30% would say yes, come on in. And I would say out of those 70%. There's probably another 10 or 15% that we, after conversations with them, as we get much closer to a deal and an LOI is signed, we negotiate as part of that we get to talk to the management team. And in that particular, in probably 15% of the cases, they do. So it's probably ended up being a 65-45 split at the end of the, or 65-35, I guess, in that somewhere around there, split, I guess.
Because owners are more reticent to talk about the transfer with their management teams or their employees, and the fact that we've got this baby boomer demographic moving through the economy, how often have you found, or how often when you're just in discussions with these people, how many times have you come across that they're really reticent to have the difficult conversation about selling, or what triggered them to want to actually talk to you about selling the company? Because many of these baby boomer owners, it's their baby, right? That's their life. That's what they've lived for many years. So what's the trigger that makes them actually start thinking about actually selling and preparing to sell?
Wow, good question. I would say probably a third of them would be they're just tired. They've run the business, they've built it, it's been their baby, they've been extremely successful. They can manage it almost without even being there, but they're just tired, and they want to move on and enjoy the next phase of their life. Probably another third would be they hit a crisis somewhere, and it's usually a crisis of some type of market happening. I guess there's a market crash, or they're at the bottom of another deep cycle, and they're just they may have balance sheet constraints. There's different things, I guess, from a financial perspective. The other third, and probably the one that you probably see most often, is a health scare. A lot of people have health issues creeping on them, or a health scare, a minor heart attack, stroke, somebody in the family got sick or whatever, and priorities change overnight, and they realize that time is really what you have left, and you want to really value what you do at that time.